Mondays at 8 p.m. Catch a 2-hour block of Law & Order SVU. Tuesdays, Chicago Fire. Wednesdays, Dateline. More Dateline and Chicago PD on Thursdays and on Fridays. You'll get more Chicago PD to start your weekend. We'll still have some of your favorite shows like Mom, Blackish, and Friends. Just adding more for you to enjoy on My 38.
WFDF Farmington Hills, Detroit, 910 AM Superstation, a division of Adele Media. The weekend lineup on 910 AM is crazy.
I am your host, Nurse Charms, the nurse of morning radio, here to bring you the most accurate and up-to-date information in health, wellness, nursing, and medicine. Listen, information is power and information is currency, so we do not do misinformation over here. Stay locked in with me, and I promise that you will not be disappointed. From 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., chime in on the discussions that we have on this show so we can hear from you.
910 AM Superstation.
Well, good morning, Detroit, and listeners around the world. Happy Sunday. You are listening to 910 AM Superstation. This is Nurse Charms Live. I am your host, Nurse Charms, the nurse of morning radio, here to bring you the most accurate and up-to-date information in health, wellness, nursing, and medicine. Listen, information is power and information is currency. So we do not do misinformation on this show. Everything is based on facts and research, okay? It is my goal to get you this knowledge and make it understandable and reliable so that all of you will continue to have confidence in us healthcare professionals. And if you're tuning in for your first time or you're a new listener, I just want to let everyone know that I'm going to be here every Sunday from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. You will hear my voice on 910 a.m. Superstation. My background is that I'm a registered nurse of 20 years, and I work at a local hospital. In addition, I'm a licensed, in addition, I work at a local hospital. I'm a licensed massage therapist of 10 years, and I'm also a serial entrepreneur. So stay locked in with me over the next 2 hours, and I promise that you will not be disappointed. I also want to mention that this is the People Show, so it's all about my callers and my listeners. I want to hear what's on your mind, so please call in to 313-778-7600 and chime in on the discussions that we have on this show because I want to hear from you. And if you're watching the show from the 910 AM Superstation Facebook page, please make sure you drop me a heart emoji and let me know you're here and share this video. Listen, when you share this video, it lets the Facebook algorithm know that this is good content and it gets higher up in the algorithm so that everybody can watch this video. So it's very important that you share this video, okay? And support me, support the show. So basically, we're just going to go ahead and get started today. This morning, I have in studio with me Amber.
Hey. What up, though?
Welcome to Nurse Charms Live. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How was your weekend?
It's been good so far. It's been really chill, which is exactly what I needed.
Yeah, I love your hair.
Thank you.
Miss So Gorgeous.
Right. I was like, this looks a lot like the wig I had.
Yeah. So, basically, today I just want to talk about, when we see these influencers, we automatically think that they have, this perfect life. And, I know you have, I just want you to tell everybody because, you've basically escalated yourself through the, TikTok ranks, right? And, you've gone viral and, you've just been, you're one of the influencers who've been, pretty much transparent. It's like, because, some of the influencers, they put this perfect lifestyle out there and you just think that everything is perfect. And that's not reality.
Yeah.
So you have been one of the influencers that I admire because, you've just been transparent. You've been sharing your story. You've been sharing your struggles. Like, look, it took me a minute to get here. And these are all of the things that I've been through. So I just want to give you a chance to, I mean, you've already been doing this, but I just want to give you a chance on my platform here, to just tell people about yourself.
Yeah, so I mean, being transparent on TikTok, listen, I've been doing this for, like you said, a very long time. It took me a long time to get here. The only difference was something went viral that created a platform for me to do what I've been doing, but just on a larger scale.
Yeah.
With a bigger audience. So, yeah, initially going viral, and then I've had several videos go viral since then. And I think now, the community that I'm building is just one of authenticity, one of real people who experience real everyday struggles and a variety of struggles, right? And I think that there's this unrealistic expectation to live up to when it comes to social media and these aesthetics and these perfect lives and these people with, sometimes a lot of money, sometimes silver spoons or whatever it may be, opportunity, privilege, what have you. And the majority of people simply don't have access to those things. And so I think it's unrealistic for that to be the only thing that they see on social media on a large scale. And for them to see that you can just be a regular person and still, share your truth, whatever that may be.
Right. Oh, and I just want to point out that you can give us a call. We're live in the studio today, 313-778-7600. Give us a call. This is the People Show. I don't have any health experts on today. This is going to be a little bit different. I really want this to be an inspirational show. I have Amber co-hosting me with me today, and she's going to just be telling her story and, just with hopes that it'll inspire someone. So give us a call, if you have any comments or you want to join this discussion, 313-778-7600, 313-778-7600. So kind of just start from the beginning. Tell everybody, what you do, what you do for a living, who you are, and just all those good things.
Yeah, so like you, I'm a serial entrepreneur, multi-passionate Renaissance woman. I do my bread and butter, my thing that I do is social media marketing. I've been doing this for over a decade for companies, for nonprofits, for small businesses, for influencer or, entrepreneurs, brand personalities, things like that. It wasn't until COVID that I just kind of had to take a look at what I was doing. With a lot of other people, I lost my corporate job at the beginning of the pandemic and tried to find other ways to supplement my income. So I got my real estate license. I became an ordained minister. I became a public notary. I was just like, there are needs for all of these things that aren't being met because of the pandemic. So let me see if I can fill some of these needs. And
let me stop you for a second, because like you were saying, you had all these different, jobs or, career paths. And I've been criticized in the past because people are like, you're doing so much. You're a nurse, you're on the radio, you're a massage therapist, you're an entrepreneur, you got your hair line, you got your t-shirt line. What is your reaction to people, oh, you're doing too much, you're all over the place?
Yeah, so I got that a lot too. Yeah. Everybody's like, well, master of, what is it? Jack of all trades, master of none is what I've often heard. And don't put your fears on me or your inability to do things on me. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm good. But I will say that 2023, I've taken a different approach only because I have a lot of life going on.
Yeah.
And so I'm this year I really want to focus on just a plate that makes sense for me. I think my eyes are a lot of times bigger than my stomach, so to speak. So I'm like, oh, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And then I'm constantly, I don't want to say busy, productive, overwhelmed. I have a lot going on. And it's kind of sad when everybody, friends, family, and whoever are constantly like, oh, I was going to call you, but you're always so busy. Or I was going to do this, but you're always so busy. And I'm like, you can call me. If I don't answer, I'll call you back. It makes me sad that people feel like they can't connect with me because I'm always so busy. But outside of that, like I said, I have a lot of life going on. So this year I'm just like, okay, I'm toning it down, just focus on, because I want to have time with my family. I want to have time with myself. And I want to just kind of just have a chill year for the most part, as much as possible. I don't think that a chill year really exists for me, but to the best of my ability, that's my goal.
Yeah. So share a little bit about, things that you're doing on social media.
So on social media,
some of the content that you're...
Yeah, so a lot of the content that I do, I would say initially, so my initial video that went viral but this was last year. This was 2021, I believe. I had a video go viral, and it was like me doing a stitch about, when a man cheats on you, how to get him back. And I was like, oh, that is not what I want to go viral for. Right. So I was like, let me tone it down. So I just kind of backed off for a minute and did like very generic real estate content. Because I was kind of like, oh, crap. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to like get rid of my platform, but I also don't want to be known for this. But then I went viral again for being a young grandma, basically. Like, I was responding to a comment about, like, you think I look 27? Like, what? Like, no, I'm 36 and I am a grandma. And that, I don't even know. I think it has like 20-something million views and like a crazy amount of likes. And my followers went up from like 3,000 to like 10,000 to 40,000 to 100,000 and just kept going. And then from that, like I've had several other videos go viral and reach, several million views. And it's just, a lot of it's just me being me. Like.
I know, right? Yeah. And to be honest, that's really what it's like. People just want to hear from others who are authentic. That's how they identify. It's like when you put yourself on a pedestal, it's almost like it's unobtainable. So when you have these people who are, just really being genuine, it's like, okay, I can identify with her, even though, she has a lot of these followers and stuff. She's still a real person to me, because you're being so transparent. And, I know you, share a lot about, the struggles. Just kind of talk about, being a grandmother.
Yeah. So kind of like my story in a nutshell is I lost my virginity at 14 and got pregnant. So I had a baby at 14, and then I married her dad at 16, and then we had a baby at 17. Yeah. And then at 19, I left him because he was really mean. He was an abusive person, and it just was not a good situation. But when I left him, we were living in Florida, so I had to like greyhound it up back to Michigan and kind of like refine myself and start my life and build piece by piece, brick by brick from... at that point, like I did graduate high school a year early, so I graduated at 17, and I immediately started college, but with literally like I think it was like my third semester in college during the week of exams, me and my ex-husband got into like this huge fight, and I missed my exams and basically dropped out of school from there. So I took a 6-year hiatus before I went back to college. And yeah, so bit by bit, piece by piece, brick by brick, built my life up to what it is now. Like literally, like had no car, I had to get a car, had no job, had to get a job, had to get a better job, had to get a better car. It's like get an apartment, get a better apartment, buy my own house. Like,
how are you able to do because that's like that's the part I want you to like get across today, so people out there can just feel inspired. So how are you able to do all these things? It's like when you're down on your luck, and you feel like you're a single mother, you're doing all these things.
So it's funny because over the years, I've got asked that question so many times, and I think as I get older, I'm finally starting to understand the answer myself, because for a long time, I was like, I don't know, I just do it. What do you mean? Like, this is not natural for everyone to just, and it's not. I think honestly, after some therapy, it's kind of a trauma response. Like, I feel like people have addictions, like everybody has some sort of habit or tendency or addiction. And for me, I'm addicted to being busy, productive, moving up. Like, I don't know how to sit still.
Oh, okay.
So I choose to focus, and I've always been like this because I've been exposed and around to a lot of, like, negative stuff. Like, when I was younger, I was around a lot of drug use, a lot of people use, and a lot of opportunities where I could have indulged myself. And I always said, no matter what room I was in or who was offering me what, no, I'm good. I'm good. I was the only one oftentimes in a room full of people wilding out on some other stuff, and I was just like, I don't know what's going on, but it just was never for me. I knew I wanted to stay in my element because I feel like I am most productive and at my best when I'm in my element. So I did that. So for me, it was just, so many people looking at me and expecting me to fail, waiting for me to fail, wanting me to fail, and wanting to prove them wrong. And that's where it really started. I was like, what you mean I can't graduate high school because I had a baby?
Right.
Watch me.
Right.
I was supposed to graduate in 2004. I graduated in 2003. I can't go to college? Watch me.
Or I hate to spin this on you, but like, what about all the people who, just feel like, well, you're white. You have privilege.
Yeah, and that I've struggled with again as I've gotten older. I have a better understanding of that because at first I was like, what? Because you got to understand like the...
Okay, you know what? We're going to have to talk about that on the other side.
Okay, y'all got to come back in after the break.
Yes, it's going to get hot. All right, you're listening to Nurse Charms Live on 910 AM Superstation. We'll be right back.
Did you know most vitamin supplements don't even come from food? Even the products with colorful fruits and vegetables adorning the labels are seldom derived from produce. Typically, supplements are synthetic, made in a laboratory. Modern science may synthetically imitate these chemicals, but your body isn't fooled. It knows the difference, and it craves quality materials to build, repair, and fight illness. You need to consume fruits and vegetables daily in a variety of colors, as well as whole grains and other fresh food. That's why I formulated Balance of Nature. I wanted to be able to give my patients a natural alternative to the cheap, unnatural chemistry by giving them real fruits and vegetables. In fact, the only ingredients inside a Balance of Nature are whole fruits and vegetables. Don't settle for imitation nutrition. Reach for the good stuff, the real stuff.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code RADIO5.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. We create professional materials representing your idea and submit it to companies who are looking for new ideas. We have more than 9,000 companies who have agreed to review ideas in confidence. If a company shows interest in manufacturing your invention, we can negotiate on your behalf. We have helped over 10,000 clients receive patents. We also offer services including 3D modeling and animation demonstrating your idea, prototyping services, and we use state-of-the-art technology to show InventHelp client ideas to additional companies. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp.
Call us for free information at 1-800-460-1663. That's 1-800-460-1663. Again, 1-800-460-1663.
Balance of Nature is fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I had no energy. For months and months and months, I had no energy, and I'm a very active person. And my husband was noticing that I was tired all the time, and I was slow at everything that I was doing. And I kept listening to the commercials. And, you know, you don't know if something's going to help you or not, but I decided this was something I was going to do. And lo and behold, in about 4 days after taking them, I was repotting plants. I was doing other things. My husband said to me, "You seem to have more energy." And I said, "Oh, yeah, I'm fine." And I'm telling you, nothing has ever made such a difference. So anyway, I'm very happy.
Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code RADIO5.
Attention! Do you owe back taxes, fines, and penalties to the IRS? The IRS now offers new relief options for taxpayers affected by COVID-19, but you can't go it alone. Call Tax Solutions now. Our team of former IRS agents and tax professionals can get you the best deal. We know the COVID-19 rules. Call us and never speak to the IRS again.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
The virus has caused the IRS to take extensive action to help taxpayers. So if you owe $10,000 or more, this is the best time in years to settle your tax debt.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
Remember, the IRS will not give up until you pay. Call 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499.
To 910 a.m. Superstation. This is Nurse Charms Live, and I am live in studio with my guest, Amber. Hey, Amber.
Hey.
Thank you for being here. If you are listening, you can call 313-778-7600. Amber, do you know CPR? Because I don't know What's going on with me? Well, I keep, I don't know, my throat. Okay, so anyways, I don't have
I
COVID.
do. I haven't had to use it in a while, so please don't put me to the test.
I'm just joking. But anyway, so Amber, let's just go ahead and get back into, you were just discussing how, you've had all these struggles and, how you're able to build yourself, to this level. But prior to that, just kind of get into,
Okay, so you asked me before the break if I feel like my privilege had anything to do with me being able to kind of like overcome some of these adversities, right? Like being a teen parent and et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So I can't speak to the Black experience. Obviously, I'm not Black, right? But what I can speak to is the fact that I feel like obviously, I think white people as a whole possess micro privileges at minimum. Everyday things that most people don't think of, like being able right now, if I were to Google like trending hairstyles,
right,
99% of the hairstyles that come up, probably 100% of the hairstyles that come up are going to be on white women. That's a privilege to not have to put Black trending hairstyles. So there's like these minor things, right, that people don't think of. I think that, however, where some of the white community can kind of identify and relate is that lower socioeconomic status, that I think that even when middle class or upper class Black people still experience a lot of the plights of the lower socioeconomic status or came from that. And so the white people that have lived in that or experienced that, I think, can identify like, hey, we have basically the poor lack of privilege because we are poor. We are not extended those same opportunities. And I think that's why sometimes you'll see like white people like, I don't have privilege. I had to go through this and this and that, whatever.
Yeah.
Because they don't get it because they've still had to struggle.
Right.
But they don't understand that there's still a whole level of privileges that have been afforded to them.
Right.
Just because they're poor and they have had to struggle doesn't mean they're still not afforded privilege. So as far as I'm concerned, though, I don't know. I can't identify a situation in which I have been like, that was definitely because I was white.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times, actually my husband and I had this conversation the other day because I did not get an opportunity that I felt 1,000,000% I should have gotten. And I said, I wonder how many times the moment I open my mouth, I lose opportunity because I don't sound the way that people think I should sound.
Right. And you've had to struggle with criticism over that too, so get into that as well.
So once I went viral, a lot of people, then the other couple other videos went viral, and a lot of people were like, why do you sound like that? A well-known creator on TikTok who has over 1.5 million followers, or however many million followers, duetted or stitched or something a video of mine and said that I had a Black scent. I was talking with a Black scent. Now, mind you, before TikTok, I had never heard the word Black scent. I had never heard the word AAVE. Because
what is AAVE?
African American Vernacular English.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. So what we were taught in my generation was Ebonics.
Yeah.
Has now evolved into AAVE, which is a language. It's a dialect with certain inflections and words and phrases and things like that are predominantly used or came from the African American community. Right. I had to learn this because I was being accused of it. And I'm like, let me research it because I don't know. Am I? I don't know. But growing up, this is just, I think that there is a subset of people who really do try to play on the African American experience or Black culture or whatever as like their claim to fame, because unfortunately, like, we can think of a handful of people who have come up off of that. And I think that, but they're all younger. I'm like, y'all, I'm damn near, can I say dang? I'm sorry. I'm almost 40 years old. Like, I'm not trying to be nothing other than what I am. I don't have time. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, this is not benefiting me.
Yeah. Yeah. See, the thing is, and, we have to just get rid of these stereotypes because it's like, okay, so if you're talking proper, that's talking white. But if you're talking Ebonics, it's talking Black. I feel like it's offensive on both sides because if I just have, a broad vocabulary or, if I just clearly pronounce my words, why does that have to be that's how all white people talk, or if I talk with a lot of slang, why does that have to be, that's how Black people talk? And for you, clearly you're Caucasian, right? What's your nationality?
Yeah, no, I'm white.
Right. So, for you to have a dialect, people say that you sound like you're Black. So what is that saying?
But here's the thing. So I've heard so many things. And here's the thing, like, people will say, well, you never hear nobody telling a white person they're well-spoken. I literally save comments when people tell me that you're so well-spoken, you're so articulate, because that's usually something that they tell people because they're surprised, like, oh my gosh, how do you don't know how to talk right or whatever. It is offensive to me when people say, oh, she must have grew up in the hood. She's ghetto. She's this. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm educated. I have a great vocabulary, and I hang around educated people.
Right.
So what are you saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, it is offensive. There's no right answer because, and this is why on break, I told you, I was like, I got to be careful with how I answer this because I know what I'm saying and I know my experience, but sometimes when articulating that, if it doesn't come out, exactly the way that I intended to, people can take it and run with it.
Right.
So I try to be careful with how I speak about it because it is a sensitive subject, but my reality is my reality, right?
Right.
And so a lot of people say, well, proximity doesn't equal permission. Well, I'm not close to the Black community. Like, I am in, like, literally everything that I do. I wake up, I do business with, I go to sleep, like, everything that I do, the people that I see every day don't look like me.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? This is my experience and has been my experience. That doesn't mean that I always necessarily suffer or go through some of the plight that my, Black friends and family go through.
Right.
But I am right there. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times I do get secondhand or like I'm a casualty of that. And that's my experience. And growing up, like, it bothers me. People say, oh, she must have grew up in the hood. I grew up everywhere. Like, I've been around from the trailer park to the projects to multicultural environments to, like, literally everything in between. And, in my experience, the first Lexus I ever rode in, it was a Black woman. It was a Black woman, and she was, like, helping disadvantaged youth, which I was part of this, like, girl group of disadvantaged youth. And one of the, I guess, like, mentors or the workers, it was a Black woman, and she was like, yes, she put us in her Lexus. We had to go on, like, a little field trip or whatever. And I was just like, okay. My friends that I hung out with, they had married parents. And, like, so I'm like, oh, so y'all got it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking like the white people that I know, like, we ain't doing too well. But all of my Black friends, like, were educated, had both parents in the home, was driving Lexuses. Like, I always was surrounded with very educated, very well-off Black people. So my experience wasn't, like, necessarily, of course I was in the hood too, and I seen the other side of that. But for me, I had such a well-rounded life experience.
And that's one of the best experiences. I feel like everybody should have a well-rounded, because then you can draw in your own opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because you've been experienced to Asian people, you've been experienced to Black people. I feel like everybody should just have an awareness and respect for all different cultures. It just makes you you just have better personality, better characteristics, because then you just understand everyone. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I definitely feel like I can identify with different people, and I've learned to be humble and not ever judge anybody by how they look. And that part of that is because of my well-rounded experience, like growing up, or for a period of time in my teenage years, I lived in Orlando. And, that's when I really realized, like, there would be people who look like me, and I'd be like, oh, hey. And then they start speaking Spanish. I'm like, oh, okay. Or, like, somebody who looked like they were Black. They were just, like, African-American, regular Black person or whatever. And then they would start speaking Spanish. And I'm like, oh, so just because of the color of your skin or the way that you look, like, I have no idea where you come from, what language you speak, how I, like, that, I think, when I was, probably, like, 16, 17 at the time, I really, really, really realized, don't judge anyone by how they look, because you never know. And then I started traveling the world, and again, being in different countries, and you go and you see people speaking, in France, like when I'm briefly in Paris, and there's like people speaking 2 and 3 languages.
Right.
You know what I mean? White people, Black people, like all different. And I'm just like, okay, so we are really small-minded in America. Yeah. We are really small-minded. And a lot of people, I think the people who come for me the hardest, or the people who, are the most racist against Black people, whatever, like, y'all need to really move around a bit. Like, go travel, hop on a flight, go to anywhere, go to another country, go to somewhere. Where I grew up in Lansing, Michigan, that's where I, like, predominantly grew up. Very, not just diverse, but integrated. Because I feel like they can say that Detroit is diverse, but it's not, because everybody has their own pockets.
Right.
So it's like there's a lot of different cultures, but they all stick to themselves.
Right.
Lansing, everybody integrated with everybody. Yeah. Like, every neighborhood had a little bit of everything. Of course, you had, like, little areas where it was, like, mostly Mexicans or mostly Puerto Ricans or mostly Black people or whatever. But for the most part, everybody's integrated. And that's break time.
Yeah. All right, you are listening to Nurse Charms Live. This is 910 a.m. Superstation. We're going to go to break. We'll be right back.
They'll challenge your authority. They'll try to break your will. They'll push you to the edge of your sanity. Because that's what kids do. But this car is your territory, not theirs. Defend it. Who makes the payments? Who cleans it? Who drives it? You do. That's who. And in here, your word is law. So when you say you won't move until everyone's buckled up, you won't budge an inch until you hear that click. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. For more information, visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup.
WADL gets a facelift and is now My 38 Detroit. Along with a facelift comes new programming. On Mondays at 8 p.m., catch a 2-hour block of Law & Order SVU. Tuesdays, Chicago Fire. Wednesdays, Dateline. More Dateline and Chicago PD on Thursdays and on Fridays. You'll get more Chicago PD to start your weekend. We'll still have some of your favorite shows like Mom, Blackish, and Friends. Just adding more for you to enjoy on My 38.
My 38 is offering a great special that cannot be refused. Are you looking for a great deal on TV advertising? Are you searching for an avenue to get your business name out to the public? With My 38, we are offering a great special, 100 spots for $600. This offer is for a 30-day ad placement. Please contact Mike Z for more information at 248-357-4566, 248-357-4566, or email at mikez@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads.
Everyone knows 910 AM Superstation is the voice of Detroit. Take the voices of 910 AM with you wherever you go with our mobile app. Watch the 910 AM live stream. Never miss a beat with current events on social media. And you can always listen again using our 910 AM replay feature. Download the 910 AM Superstation app today on your mobile device by visiting the App Store on your Android or Apple device.
The Word Network has been broadcasting inspirational messages around the world since the year 2000, and we keep getting bigger and better and more innovative. Seen all around the world, we bring you the best teaching, impartation, singing, and inspiration. If you want original programming, we have that too. The Word Network is your exclusive source for all things inspiration, and we can be found on every device imaginable. If you want to be uplifted and inspired, you need the Word Network. 910, the Superstation, Detroit's only African-American talk radio.
And we are back. You are listening to Nurse Charms Live. This is 910 a.m. Superstation. I am in studio live with Amber. Hey, Amber.
Hey.
And we're just going to get right back into our discussion. Amber, tell me about how do you maintain your confidence, or how did you build your confidence based on all of these struggles that you were talking about you went through?
So this is a good question.
Amidst all of, your criticism and stuff, how did you stay confident with, who you are, what you represent, what you stand for, all your values that you were taught, by your parents growing up, how did you use all that to maintain your confidence?
So a lot of times people with allergies will do allergy testing, right? Where their doctors will say, okay, you're allergic to garlic, and they will expose them to garlic in lower levels and then just build it up to basically build up their tolerance to garlic. Okay. I feel like that's what I've done with all of my insecurities and everything that I was not confident about. So my biggest insecurity was being a young mom. I felt like people just looked at me like, you could see the look on people's faces, like, as soon as you mention it or they realize how old you were when you had your kids, and the look of disappointment or disgust on their faces, the judgment that you must have been promiscuous, you were out there, you know, busting it open, you was, like, all of these preconceived ideas of what being a young parent meant, and the looks on people's faces and the comments and everything every time. And even as an adult, when I, you know, was in college or when I entered the corporate world, and people would say like, oh, how many kids do you have? Or, oh my, and I used to dread these conversations. Like, you start a new job and everybody's like getting to know each other. Oh, so you have kids? How old are they? How many? And I would answer that. And I would go from, you know, feeling like on top of the world to like shrink to the size of a pea. Yeah. Because immediately I could feel the judgment just like seething in my skin. And I basically kind of started in my 20s when people would ask me about my kids. Like, I would make a joke like, oh, I have 10 kids. And they would be like, you got 10 kids? And then I'd be like, no, I'm just playing. I got 3. But it was like I had to set it up for failure. Like, you know what I'm saying? So 3 didn't sound so bad when I said I had 10 at first. Right. Or like, oh, how old were you when you had your kid? Or how did you get? I used to make it sound worse than what it was. Yeah. So then when I gave them the real answer, it didn't sound as bad. But that was kind of like a tactic I used in my 20s. And as I got older, I just continued to put myself in situations to be judged. And then TikTok and like social media has provided me an opportunity to where I take all the stuff that I've been insecure about and all the stuff that people had gave me crap for, and I just put it on Front Street. Like, please go ahead, talk junk, judge me, let me give it all to me. Come on.
I want all the smoke.
I want all the smoke. Give it to me, because all you're doing is building up my confidence. Because now, when I tell people how old I was, I say it and I stand tall, and I don't feel like I shrink to the size of a pea anymore. Right. Like when people talk about my voice or anything, like, because at first TikTok had me shook. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was really going through all my videos from Facebook. I mean, 10 years back on YouTube, listening to how I'm like, do I switch up the way that I talk? I'm like, do I sound a type of way? I was really looking at myself, and then I found myself paying too much attention to the way that I talk, and then I was switching it up because I was like, I should talk like this. No, but I can't, but that's not it. And it was just like, it was a mess. Like, and I felt like crap for a minute. And then I was like, you know what? I don't care. Like, I just got to the point where I'm like, you know what? I can make jokes about it. And it's like, that's something that I have not had to deal with on this level until I kind of went viral and started building my platform online, and realizing that when I do a video and I put it on TikTok is a different experience than like Instagram or Facebook or anything.
What's the difference?
I think you have an opportunity to reach more of a global audience. Like the way that, and I think they're actually, this is a side note, but I think TikTok is changing their algorithm to be a little bit more Instagram-like. But what I mean by that is Instagram tends to like reach out to your circle and then expand upon that. Right. Whereas TikTok is the opposite. It's completely random, and then it might come back into your circle. Okay. So you have an opportunity to reach such a different platform. And what I realized in that is that when I do a video, I'm speaking, you know, obviously based on my experience, what I'm used to, the people I'm around, or whatever. Not everybody has the same experience as me. So not everybody has seen somebody who looks like me and sounds like me. Not everybody knows someone who's been a teen mom. Right. Not everybody knows someone who grew up the way that I did. Not everybody has even literally traveled outside of their city. Right. So not everyone has the same life experiences. And so now I take that into consideration. And also, there's trolls, right? So I'm like, trolls are trolls. You can't take them seriously. And then the people, I never used to look at like when people would comment something negative on my videos, I never used to look at their profile. I don't know why. I just didn't want to give them the attention. Right. But then I realized I was doing myself a disservice and them. So then now I'm like, if you make an ugly comment and you seem like maybe you're a real person and not a troll, I'll look at your profile. And you know what? 9 times out of 10, I'm like, ooh, they struggling. Right. Woo! Like, if I was a psychologist or a school counselor looking at this, I would definitely contact their parents. Right. Like, a lot of the times, people who are leaving nasty comments are going through some things.
Oh, 100. Absolutely. That's why they're leaving that comment. You know what I'm saying? Is basically they're projecting their own unhappiness, you know, onto you. So it's like, why are you saying these nasty things? Why do you have this ugly spirit? You know, definitely. I mean, because if you think about it, people just don't wake up like that. People don't just, you know.
Listen, I said that to somebody as they were saying, they just kept going in on me. And I was like, listen, the peace in one person's spirit is going to disturb the demon in another's. So you're saying I got demons in my spirit?
Yeah, you do.
You absolutely do, baby. You definitely.
I mean, people need to really do some self-reflecting. If they're just always negative, if they're just always, you just always got some type of gripe with people for no reason at all. It's like, what's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Let's do some self-reflection. Look at yourself in the mirror first. Like I always tell people that, because before you can even judge somebody, we shouldn't even be judging any people in the first place. But before we can judge anybody, you best believe you better be like perfect. You know what I'm saying? And since nobody is perfect, just stop right there. You know what I'm saying? And then another thing is like, this is why we have so many, mental health issues going on in the world also, because it's like people just feel so much pressure, just like how we started this dialogue or whatever, just talking about how, you see these influencers, you think that everybody is perfect, they'll have some expensive car or they have some expensive home, or you just think that, oh, their life is so perfect, I want to be like them. And you don't even know, or people can just be real deceptive on social media. So you just really have to take that stuff like a grain of salt. So, yeah. So just get into what you were talking about.
No, I think you're right. I think that, like we were talking about earlier, the pressure to be on all the time. I think I've heard a lot of people, even older people like my mom's generation, years, in the past 5+ years, talking about, well, I don't even get on Facebook anymore because this, this person is always like, they don't like my stuff. And I'm like, why do you care? You are 60 years old. Why do you care if somebody's liking your post? You know what I'm saying? But for older generations to really care that much, like I can't imagine growing up in this world.
Yeah.
It was different when we were growing up. It was so much different. And I'm a grown woman. I'm educated. I've gone through therapy. Like I'm very self-intuitive and everything, introspective, and I still deal with. Oh, we got a caller. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, right. Like, okay. So when did all this social media start? In 2006 or something like that, I think.
Well, like the common ones, like MySpace was like 2005, I think, 2006 and 7 and all of that. And then Facebook came around.
Right. So we didn't have a lot. Well, I don't want to date myself, but I didn't have a lot of that stuff until like, later on.
AOL chat rooms, Yahoo chat rooms, Black Planet. Like, okay, listen, and I was on Black Planet. I don't know, but I was, because like in high school, like some of my classmates was on it, so I was on it, whatever. Right. But that was like my first experience with social media, and then it was MySpace, and then it was Facebook and all of that. But it was very different.
So it's like I feel like a lot of the problems started, when we had social media. That's especially in terms of just mental health. But let's get to a caller. Emery, are you there?
Of course I'm here. Well, where else would I be?
Good morning, Emery. Welcome to Nurse Charms Live. How are you?
Doing great. What's going on with you guys?
Oh, I got my guest co-host on here, Amber.
Hey, Emery.
Hey, Amber, how you doing? You all right?
Good.
Yeah, I was going to check in just for a hot second, because I'm headed to Lifetime so I can lose some of this blubber I got around my way.
I feel you.
Yeah. What I would say, Amber, is that what we have now in this society is everyone's trying to judge everybody. However, and I wanted to listen to you because I've never heard of you, and blame my ignorance, not me not researching. I didn't know, but what I would say as far as your experience is, we all live in kind of echo chambers. All of us do. And whatever one culture says, that's how it's supposed to be, and it's only for that particular culture. Whereas the whole point is that we're supposed to share cultures. That's how we grow. And you're saying you're talking about your dialect. You're talking about I'm looking for the right word. Syntax. And they're sitting back saying, oh, well, she sounds black. I'm like, okay, here's one thing I explain to everybody, is that you may sound black to someone, all right? But do people in England sound black when they all speak the same?
Right.
No matter what color they are?
Right.
Of course not. So here, when I hear someone says, I speak Ebonics, no, that's someone who chooses not to learn how to speak.
Right.
You know
Or what
I'm
if
saying?
somebody
So
said,
now-
Emery, what if somebody says you speak white? Is that supposed to be a compliment? Like, I don't know how to take that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't take that as a compliment. I actually take that as offense. Oh, we got to go to break. Emery, stay on hold with us, please.
I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay. You're listening to 910 AM Superstation. This is Nurse Charms Live. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Okay.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. We create professional materials representing your idea and submit it to companies who are looking for new ideas. We have more than 9,000 companies who have agreed to review ideas in confidence. If a company shows interest in manufacturing your invention, we can negotiate on your behalf. We have helped over 10,000 clients receive patents. We also offer services including 3D modeling and animation demonstrating your idea, prototyping services, and we use state-of-the-art technology to show InventHelp client ideas to additional companies. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp.
Call us for free information at 1-800-460-1663. That's 1-800-460-1663. Again, 1-800-460-1663.
My 38 is offering a great special that cannot be refused. Are you looking for a great deal on TV advertising? Are you searching for an avenue to get your business name out to the public? With My 38, we are offering a great special, 100 spots for $600. This offer is for a 30-day ad placement. Please contact Mike Z for more information at 248-357-4566, 248-357-4566, or email at mikez@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads. 910 AM Superstation has the greatest advertising deal ever with our Godfather package. 100 spots for $600 with a must-air within 30-day policy. And we will even produce the spots free. That's right, free. Call Mike Z at 248-357-4566 or email at mikez@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads.
WADL gets a facelift and is now My 38 Detroit. Along with a facelift comes new programming. On Mondays at 8 p.m., catch a 2-hour block of Law & Order SVU. Tuesdays, Chicago Fire. Wednesdays, Dateline. More Dateline and Chicago PD on Thursdays and on Fridays. You'll get more Chicago PD to start your weekend. We'll still have some of your favorite shows like Mom, Blackish, and Friends. Just adding more for you to enjoy on My 38.
Everyone knows 910 AM Superstation is the voice of Detroit. Take the voices of 910 AM with you wherever you go with our mobile app. Watch the 910 AM live stream. Never miss a beat with current events on social media. And you can always listen again using our 910 AM replay feature. Download the 910 AM Superstation app today on your mobile device by visiting the App Store on your Android or Apple device.
And we are back. This is Nurse Charms Live. You are listening to 910 AM Superstation. I'm in studio with Amber. She is my guest co-host today. And we have on hold Emery. Go ahead. Continue your thoughts.
Okay. Excuse me. Also, I know, Amber, you were speaking about saying, once again, we were talking about your language and stuff like that. Well, not language, but how you speak, syntax. Right. The biggest thing I would say is that what I was saying before, in other countries, they speak the same. But just like I heard earlier that you were saying that people look at you differently or once they heard you speak. And you have to understand that we're all going to judge because we're all built in. All humans are built with a fight or flight mechanism in them. So we have to kind of do a threat assessment of everyone, how they speak, what they say, and then we have to put that in our mental Rolodex. Does that, that stereotype fit safety or fear? And we have to develop that to say, okay, if it's fear and I'm not in a position to protect myself, I have to assimilate to it. Yeah. So when you happen to do that, it's not a feature for you just to say, I just want to be like someone. It's more so about the fact that you're trying to make sure that you assimilate because this is your greatest chance of survival, and not for just yourself, but for your family, your children. So I don't want you to ever look at what you do or how you speak or anything as anything but you knowing who you are and what you have to do. Because what you have to do to survive. Because there's a lot of people who choose not to assimilate and say, I'm good over here, and those are the ones who suffer and keep their mind closed. So I want you to always keep your mind open just the way you are, because I think I've heard you say that you were pretty big on social media.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, to say the least. I would tell you that you're not who you are on social media if it wasn't for who you are in life.
Ooh, I like that. Amen. Emery with the gems. I like it.
And that's real. I'm just saying is that you think about it, with so many fake people and a lot of people, listen, I go back and forth with people about sports and stuff like that and politics. I mean, I'm a political consultant. I've done a lot of stuff. But the thing is that you can't do those things if you don't have an open mind to say, hey, let me listen to your side too, and even the quote Socrates, he said, you can only, the information is about sharing, but you can only share with a mind that's open. Mm-hmm. And the thing is that you have shared and with open minds to your platform for people to understand you and they love you for who you are. So don't be ashamed of it. I want you to embrace it. Not saying you are, because that's without the question. I think from the surface, people may look at it that way. No, you are who you are because of what your environment made you become. So you're just fine. Keep pushing. You're fine. And I can sit here and if you guys have questions for me, I can ask. It's up to you as well. I have no problem. I'm here for me. I'm not leaving until Saturday. I'm okay.
Thank you, Emery. We appreciate you. Our lines are actually blowing up, so we're going to get to some more callers.
Jump on it.
As always, I appreciate you calling the show, and you have a great day, Emery.
All right. See you guys later.
All right. All right. Callers, please give us a call. Join our discussion. If you were calling and couldn't get in, give us a call back. It's 313-778-7600, 313-778-7600. Let's get to our next caller. We have Norman. Norman, are you there?
Yes, I am. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing excellent. How are you?
I'm hanging in here.
Amen to that.
I'm calling from Florida, so I'm quite just listening to your show from Tampa.
Oh, I appreciate the support from Tampa. Yeah, let us know what's on your mind.
Oh yeah, I find that your guests and your subject matter fascinating in the sense that I'm 71, okay, and influences that, and it's just amazing to hear her and you talk about the influences that you guys have faced, people face in life and your lives, and how technology has molded, let's say, your experience. And because in my day, all we had was just radio. Listening to Motown music when I grew up in Detroit, and peer influences were by our friends, and and we had cell phones and those sort of things. So you had to wait to go home with a call to your friend on the phone. And in terms of when you talk about somebody's, looking at you, if you can pull up someone's profile and it's just amazing, and say, hey, you got a problem, man, you got an issue. We couldn't do that back then, but I just find that it's just fascinating how to hear the young ladies talk about the things that you're confronted with in your generation and those sort of things, and that they still have the same semblance of peer pressure that we all have had to deal with. I mean, that people have dealt with all their lives, culture and mores and those sort of things. And, you know, I just again, I'm just you know, find this just listening to you just really eye-opening just for me, because again, we have there's no TikTok in the world chat. I remember when these things came along, we looked at these platforms entirely different. But I must say this though, and so I'm proud of you young ladies. I mean, it's just, you know, you just keep doing what you're doing. You're just living, trying to navigate life to the fullest. And a young lady back in my day who had a kid out of wedlock or 16 or 15, so a young lady who had a child in our day, she couldn't go to Mumford High School. She had to was sent to a separate school or never went to school at all. Was a young man. There were no consequences for them. Things were different. You know, the society looked at, as this young lady pointed out, you look at our day, you definitely look like you were, if you were black, for somebody there to put you aside. What happened to so-and-so? Well, I don't know, you know, whatever, you know. And, you know, it was a different time, and people judge you quite differently. Now, you know, you got that ability to use your phone and communicate to people from all over the world. And I have, just getting back to those old folks like me, I've used that platform I'm so proud of you, young. Yes, ma'am.
I was going to say, I hate to cut you off, but we got to break up.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that encouragement.
Keep living and keep
all right.
Life to the fullest.
Take care. Thank you, Norman. The other callers that are holding, please continue holding. I'm going to get to you, I promise, on the other side of the break. This is 9:10 a.m. Superstation. You're listening to Nurse Charms Live. We'll be right back.
So, y'all.
Did you know most vitamin supplements don't even come from food? Even the products with colorful fruits and vegetables adorning the labels are seldom derived from produce. Typically, supplements are synthetic, made in a laboratory. Modern science may synthetically imitate these chemicals, but your body isn't fooled. It knows the difference, and it craves quality materials to build, repair, and fight illness. You need to consume fruits and vegetables daily in a variety of colors, as well as whole grains and other fresh food. That's why I formulated Balance of Nature. I wanted to be able to give my patients a natural alternative to the cheap, unnatural chemistry by giving them real fruits and vegetables. In fact, the only ingredients inside of Balance of Nature are whole fruits and vegetables. Don't settle for imitation nutrition. Reach for the good stuff, the real stuff.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code RADIO5.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. We create professional materials representing your idea and submit it to companies who are looking for new ideas. We have more than 9,000 companies who've agreed to review ideas in confidence. If a company shows interest in manufacturing your invention, we can negotiate on your behalf. We have helped over 10,000 clients receive patents. We also offer services including 3D modeling and animation demonstrating your idea, prototyping services, and we use state-of-the-art technology to show InventHelp client ideas to additional companies. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp.
Call us for free information at 1-800-460-1663. That's 1-800-460-1663. Again, 1-800-460-1663.
The 910 AM app has been integrated with Alexa and is now live in the App Store. To use 910 AM on your Alexa device, you can say Alexa commands in two ways. If your Fire TV device has a microphone button, you can hold down the microphone button to say the commands. If you've linked your Echo or Echo Dot to your Fire TV, you can use the trigger word Alexa without pushing your microphone buttons to say commands. Start listening to 910 AM Superstation now from the comfort of your home. The weekend lineup on 910 AM, it's crazy.
I am your host, Nurse Charms, the nurse of morning radio, here to bring you the most accurate and up-to-date information in health, wellness, nursing, and medicine. Listen, information is power and information is currency, so we do not do misinformation over here. Stay locked in with me, and I promise that you will not be disappointed. From 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., chime in on the discussions that we have on this show so we can hear from you.
910 AM Superstation. WFDF Farmington Hills, Detroit. 910 AM Superstation, a division of Adele Media. The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 910 AM Superstation or Adele Media.
And we are back. You are listening to Nurse Charms Live. This is 910 AM Superstation. And we are going to get right back to these callers that I have holding on the line. Additional callers, give us a call, 313-778-7600. But right now, let's get to Fidel. Fidel, are you there?
Yeah, good morning, ladies. How y'all doing?
Hey, good morning. Doing well. How are you?
Doing great. Hey, listen, I want to just comment on what you guys have been listening for about a half an hour or so. When you guys say someone, a black person is talking white or trying to talk black, I take that a little different. Like if I say, what up, though, or somebody asks me, say, what you doing? I say, I'm cold, chilling. To me, that would be talking black. That's slang. You're not going to get too many white people that's saying that.
Well, but what up, though, is Detroit. Like, everybody says what up, though. In Detroit.
I mean, again, that started with us.
Yeah.
You didn't get that from West Bloomfield.
But I'm not saying West Bloomfield. I'm not talking about the suburbs. Detroit is what up, though. Like, in the city. But, yeah, it did come. I'm not taking from where it came from, for sure.
Again, most white people don't tell me what up, though. Black people tell me what up, though.
You're right. I get your point. You're right.
So when they say black people talking white, that would be kind of the choice of word and the pitch. Like if I sit here and say absolutely, that would be talking white.
But is that a compliment to you? Like what is that supposed to mean? If somebody says that you're talking white because you're just speaking clear English, like is that supposed to really be a compliment? As like, oh, you have good English. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like you're complimenting because I have good English. Like, no, I don't take that as a compliment. Do you take that as a compliment? Like, Fidel, you're talking white. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's that supposed to mean?
The thing of it is us being Africans, we've been so Europeanized. So everybody trying to do exactly what they do. We got their names, their culture, their way of life, their rules. So I don't really pay that no attention. Now, you guys said something about staying away from negative people. And I have also been told that I'm very negative. But from my point of view, I learned that when people tell me that I'm being negative, that's just me giving out the purity facts. I can tell somebody, hey, man, you didn't do this. You forgot to do this. You was late on this. And when you did do this, you messed it up. And somebody say, well, you just so negative. Man, get out of here, man. What about what I just said? What about what happened? You understand me? So when people say somebody's negative, what about the facts? Somebody that's saying the other person's negative, they trying to turn the conversation or the facts over. And last but not least, mental illness. If you go back to the 90s, you really didn't hear too much about mental illness. And you bring it up to 2023, you hear a whole
it's
bunch
trendy.
It's
like a trendy thing.
Yes. I think mental illness for the black community is lack of home training or the home training they got. And let me explain that. If my parents told me, I'm 50, if my parents told me for 50 years that they believe in Christmas and vote and my elected candidates that you vote don't actually do nothing over generations after generation after generation. If I start up in Highland Park, there's a high school, and I keep voting, now there's no high school, no college, no hospital, no library, no water department. Why am I voting on this? Do you understand me? You go from having something to not having something, and then people say, "Oh, see, that's what's wrong with you. You won't vote." But why won't you put the pressures on the people that you voted for, and then the people that do vote? 2 weeks after they vote, they turn around and complain that this elected official just gave away all our money for a hotel, and we still need a high school. So that's my little comment for the day, for the morning, ladies, and I would love to hear y'all ladies comment, and I'm going to sit back and listen, and you ladies have a great day.
Thank
Peace
you.
out.
Thank you for calling, Fidel. Yes, please continue listening, and callers out there, you can give us a call and join our discussion, 313-778-7600. I'm going to answer first, and I'm going to let Amber give her response to what you just said, Fidel. Yes, you're absolutely right, especially in the, Black community. Like, we kind of feel like, well, I really don't want to even just say it's a Black thing. It's just voters in general. Like, why vote if you feel like when you're voting, nothing happens? These people who we put into office are going to do what they want to do anyways, based on all the, lobbyists and stuff, and, people paying their money on the side or whatever. I got to say allegedly, because we don't know that, people are really taking money, to get into office and make decisions or whatever. But that is one of the biggest struggles, I think, of every voter. Is like, we're not seeing any results. It's like we're voting. Okay, they're telling us to vote. We're still not seeing any results. When are we going to see the results? So just continuing to hold. I feel like we should continue voting. I don't ever want to tell anybody, because that's just your right. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you make change. It may not be change, in those 2 years or in those 4 years. You may not even see those changes, until 6 years down the line. But I do think, voting is very important. Go ahead, Amber.
Yeah, no, I feel like voting is a right, but I think beyond that, we have a responsibility, right? A responsibility to our communities. And so I think, you're right, we can vote and vote and vote, and our votes don't really matter. And honestly, there are a few times that I did not vote because I was like, what's the point? My vote doesn't matter. But then somebody had kind of broke it down for me and was just like, by you not voting, you're not helping anything, because then the people who are voting for the opposite of what you want are going to get what they want, because you didn't you didn't contribute your voice either way. And then basically the way it explained to me, I was like, okay, so it made me want to vote. But outside of that, that's, I think, why there's such a big push to get young people involved in politics and involved in policy making and involved in our communities, because we have to do more than just exercise our right to vote, but then employ our the responsibility that we have to our communities to actually start creating those changes, right? So be the change that you want to see. I know that sounds so corny, but for real, cliche. You got to be the change that you want to see. You can't just think, well, I'm a vote and then that's going to change everything. No, if you really want to see the change, get out and make it happen. Yeah. Connect with the people who can make it happen.
Let's get to our caller, Sylvia. Good morning, Sylvia. Are you there?
Hey, young ladies. It's refreshing to see you, too.
Thank you. And thank you for holding. I know you've been on hold for a little bit because we had to get to our other callers. But thank you for calling Nurse Charms Live. Let us know what's on your mind this morning.
Congratulations on your show. Now, I'm going to do a little poem for y'all. Black, green, yellow, white. It is the greedy few that want to keep us in a negative divide, senseless fights. I remember when I was in school, they had schools just for pregnant moms, too. I know of young ladies who had children, yet they continued with getting educated, and in college they did graduate. Shout out to those who stood strong and chose the right road, which way, and moving on. Politics, and religious, I still believe, do more to divide than to support and help the peace. Thanks for taking my call.
Wait, Sylvia, before you
this morning, y'all.
Sylvia, before you go, I just want to ask you. You mentioned being strong. Leave us with some wisdom. What do you do to stay strong? In a world full of adversity, critics, and so many.
Well, the first thing I think, education is very important, but you have to educate to liberate, and you can't allow what I call syndicated media. You have to go beyond and do your own research, because those that are in control are doing everything they can do to keep you in the dark, and they believe in dumbing down the people. So the more they keep us dumbed down, the more we turn into mentally ill.
Yes.
That's real. Y'all know that's real.
Yes.
And causes all this negative divide that causes more of our own demise. So you have to be more educated again to liberate and think outside of the box, and don't believe everything you listen to and you see and you hear on that ignorant box.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. That was some good words. Thank you so much for calling this morning, Sylvia. You have a happy Sunday. Love you too.
Have a great day.
All right, take care. So Amber, let us know what you do to stay strong. Because I mean, I see your TikToks all the time, and just the comments, I'd be like, dang, how does this woman deal with, you know what I'm saying? Because you get a lot of flack, and I'm like, where is this coming from? You get a lot of positive too, but you do get a lot of flack, and I'm just like, geez.
I get way more positive than negative, but the negative, it just hits harder. Like, there is some mornings where I have woken up and all I see is negative. Yeah. And I'm like, what did I do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But majority of the time, I wake up and, all I see is positive. So I have a couple of things to say to that. Number one, I make it a point in my everyday life to focus on the positive over the negative.
Yes.
I can't remember his name, but our caller that was talking about, some people say I'm negative, but I just look at the facts. Fidel. I knew it started with F. There's people who look at the glass half full, glass empty, and some people just look at the glass for what it is, whatever. I really make it a point to focus on, there's always gonna be, highs and lows to life and to your day and everything. I make it a point to just focus on the highs, because the negatives, the lows, they're going to happen. They're going to come. And honestly, I feel like oftentimes I have so many lows.
Right.
If I focused on even one or two of them, I wouldn't get out of bed in the morning.
Yeah.
I would just stay in bed.
Yeah.
Because, honestly, there's so much stuff that is, so debilitatingly painful to me in my life that it could really handicap me from doing anything.
Yeah.
So I just wake up and I'm like, okay, what's good? The sun is shining. It's kind of whatever I find, I look for the good, and I find the good, and I hold on to the good. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is, as far as the negative comments and things like that, initially when I kind of started going viral and getting a lot of followers and comments and things like that, I reached out to other people, other influencers who had, a lot of followers, and said, what do I do? They told me don't read the comments, and if you do, don't get stuck in them. And then, I had the advice from people that I really look up to who started following me back. We're just block them. And I was like, well, I don't want to block them. I want everybody to be able to say what they can say, what they want to say. I want it to be but no, block them. So now I'm block.
Block game strong. Huh?
Yes, block game is super strong. I don't care about you. I don't though. I don't. Anybody who intentionally and willfully tries to negatively impact my life when I already have enough, period. But especially because I have what I have going on, baby, bye. I don't care. I don't need you in my life. You mean nothing to me. So I'm not going to even allow you to disturb or disrupt my spirit. You can keep it moving. There is way too much positive in my life and positive people and people who want to love on me for me to take the time to feel badly for those who don't.
Right, for sure. Yeah, I think some of the things I do to stay strong is my mom, she passed on. So, I just feel like everything I do, I want to just make her proud, even though she's not here, just her legacy that, she had a daughter, and just me, because she literally gave everything for me. She always gave me the best, always, just mentored me and just taught me everything I know. So I just feel like I have to continue on. So that just really pushes me, sometimes where I may just get sad, I'm like, no, I got to keep going, because, my mom wouldn't want me sitting somewhere, sleep in the bed, depressed or struggling. I've had several challenges, that I've had to overcome. And, and then also, I'm very spiritual. I have a relationship with Christ. So I pray every morning, pray throughout the day. And, so that really fills my spirit up, because there is so much negativity in this world. It's a lot of positive things, but I personally feel like it's so much negativity. I mean, you see it on television, you see it in places you go. I mean, shoot, you can just even be driving on the road and some person just tries to cut you off or do some weird things. I don't know what's going on in the world, but it's like a lot of negativity. So, you just really have to fill yourself up, Everybody has their own different, religions, but whatever that is, the universe, God, whatever, you have to find some type of place to just stay centered and focused. But on that note, we have to take a break. So you are listening to 910 AM Superstation. This is Nurse Charms Live. We'll be right back.
Attention! Do you owe back taxes, fines, and penalties to the IRS? The IRS now offers new relief options for taxpayers affected by COVID-19, but you can't go it alone. Call Tax Solutions now. Our team of former IRS agents and tax professionals can get you the best deal. We know the COVID-19 rules. Call us and never speak to the IRS again.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
The virus has caused the IRS to take extensive action to help taxpayers. So if you owe $10,000 or more, this is the best time in years to settle your tax debt.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
Remember, the IRS will not give up until you pay. Call 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499.
Everyone knows 910 AM Superstation is the voice of Detroit. Take the voices of 910 AM with you wherever you go with our mobile app. Watch the 910 AM live stream. Never miss a beat with current events on social media. And you can always listen again using our 910 AM replay feature. Download the 910 AM Superstation app today on your mobile device by visiting the App Store on your Android or Apple device. 910 AM Superstation is the voice of the people. Don't believe me? Just listen.
I absolutely love this radio station. This station gets me through the work week.
And we don't just show love to the callers. We see the comments and the posts too.
I'm always on the go, so being able to watch all my favorite hosts on 910 AM mobile app is amazing.
So when you think of 910 AM Superstation, we want you to tune in, call in, and don't forget to find us on social media.
The Word Network has been broadcasting inspirational messages around the world since the year 2000, and we keep getting bigger and better and more innovative. Seen all around the world, we bring you the best teaching, impartation, singing, and inspiration. If you want original programming, we have that too. The Word Network is your exclusive source for all things inspiration, and we can be found on every device imaginable. If you want to be uplifted and inspired, you need the Word Network.
The 910 AM app has been integrated with Alexa and is now live in the App Store. To use 910 AM on your Alexa device, you can say Alexa commands in two ways. If your Fire TV device has a microphone button, you can hold down the microphone button to say the commands. If you've linked your Echo or Echo Dot to your Fire TV, you can use the trigger word Alexa without pushing your microphone buttons to say commands. Start listening to 910 AM Superstation now from the comfort of your home.
This is 910 AM Superstation. You are listening to Nurse Charms Live. I am in studio with my co-host, Amber. Hey, Amber.
Hey.
So oh my gosh, this show has just been going by so fast. We're in our second hour. We're already past our second hour, but if you would like to join our conversation, you can call us in studio, 313-778-7600. Again, that number is 313-778-7600. Amber has just been very transparent. I mean, homegirl has been talking about everything, just sharing her story, just struggling as a teen mother. And then she was just getting into, how she stays strong throughout all of the adversity. So now I just want to kind of change gears a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about health, because, this show is primarily health-based show, but, sometimes I'll bring other subject matter onto the show. But I want to talk about, and this is just a chance for, and callers, everyone, please call, because, I always say this is the people show. This is all about y'all. So, if y'all want to, this is kind of like open mic today, it's a little different. But if y'all have anything you want to talk about, definitely call in. But I want to get into, tell me some things that you believe the medical profession should be paying more attention to. It's always nice, because I'm a nurse. I'm working at the hospital. So, I see everything. So I want to kind of hear from, like the patients or the community perspective. What are some things that you think the medical profession could be doing better?
They could be paying attention to the patients. I feel like, for real, myself and so many people that I've heard of who have had things going on, and they take it to their medical professional, the doctor, they go to the emergency room, urgent care, nurse, whatever it may be, and they're not listened to. They don't take their symptoms are not taken seriously. Oftentimes diagnoses, again, personal experience and based on people that I know, diagnoses are delayed because they're not taken seriously. And
are you saying this is a personal experience of people or of you?
All of the above. Like, okay. Well, yeah. Like I have some of my own stories and other people, and it's just like, I feel like I don't know if the medical community is desensitized because they see so much stuff. They're like, oh my gosh, you're fine. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's not that big of a deal. I see this every day. I don't know if there is a disconnect between the medical training received and in-practice work. So you learn about it in school, but you don't really use it every day, so you don't think about it. So when somebody comes in with that set of symptoms, you don't think it might be something else. I feel like I don't know what it would take. And mind you, I am probably one of the furthest removed people from the medical profession. Like I have my family, my mom, my sister, they was like into nursing, home health care. My mom worked at hospital in Michigan or in Lansing for like 20 years on pediatrics. And I was like, I want no parts.
And that's fine. I wasn't asking you in terms of being an expert, but what it is that recently there was a recent Gallup poll, and it's actually showing that the quality of U.S. healthcare, they're rated as poor.
I believe it.
Yeah. And I'm just like, well, dang, what's going on? So, I wanted to, ask you, what your opinion is, because, like me working in a hospital, like that's not good. We don't want our patients to feel like, their care is poor. And so this study is basically saying, like at the first time, let's see, this is the first time in 20-year trend that, the quality of care, basically the perception around the world, around the nation, it dropped from good to poor. So that's something that, definitely hospital leadership should be addressing, even us on the front line, nurses, doctors like that.
How do we have poor health care? United States. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's ridiculous. We're supposed to be
richest country, right? We should have
the
best of the best. And then when it comes to COVID, don't even get us started with that. Yeah. But let's see, we got a caller on the line. Larry, good morning. Are you there?
Oh, good morning, ladies. Thank you for taking my call. I'll try to be very brief. Ladies, one of the things that's really troubling during these times that we live in, these pandemics and whatnot, is mental illness. How we treat and how we diagnose someone that is suffering from mental illness. I find that in our society today that there's not any tolerance whatsoever for dealing with mental illness. And mental illness ranges in every area of our lives today. If you ladies could you please speak on that subject? Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, for sure. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Larry, for calling Nurse Charms Live. It's really sad. So I was working at the hospital yesterday, and I had 7 patients. And out of my 7 patients, 6 of them had some type of mental health. So just kind of think about that and just kind of put that into perspective. So this is, I'm not going to say what hospital I'm at, but like I said, 7 of my patients, 6 of them had some. So, I mean, mental illness is real. You know what I'm saying? Like, if anybody doesn't believe that, they should definitely get into their head that mental illness is real. It's very common, and it needs to be addressed. And it's just so disheartening that, some of the, we're not getting the funding. We're not getting enough funding, to care for these people. Because, it's an illness. You know what I'm saying? It's nobody's fault. You know what I'm saying? It's, chemicals and stuff in the brain. I mean, it's not your fault, but it is our responsibility, as healthcare systems, the government, it's our responsibility to address it. It's our responsibility to have care. To provide care for these patients. I did read something saying that there's this new there's a mental health crisis hotline out, and I did read something saying that the calls to that hotline have increased. So, I mean, that's a good thing that people are using those resources, but, just because people are calling in, are they getting the access that they need to these, mental health resources? And I mean, I can't really speak in depth, about mental health because, I'm a registered nurse, and my background is critical care, and so I really don't, know too much about mental health, Larry. If you're still listening, but I will have some experts, soon come on my show that can, really go in depth into mental health. But just in general, just like what I'm seeing. As a registered nurse, yes, there are so many people out here and they need care. And I don't know what the government is going to do about it, but I do hope they do something. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I often wonder, is the prevalence of mental illness, or is mental illness more prevalent, or do we just understand it better, right? Is the medical community in a better situation to be able to diagnose? Because it does seem like everybody has something, depression, anxiety, BPD, all of these things. Whereas, again, when I was growing up, it was like, that was different. If you had, if there was a kid with ADD or something, it was like, oh, that's the bad kid.
Right.
That was the perception.
Right.
Oh, that's the bad kid.
Well, the thing about it is it's still a stigma right now. Mental health is still a stigma. And I don't know if we're ever going to be able to, remove that stigma. We're doing a lot of positive, media and marketing campaigns and stuff, and putting the resources out there. I really like how the different celebrities are speaking up and, they're being transparent. They're sharing their stories. I think the more that people share their stories, that will allow people, with these illnesses to feel more comfortable, and then, just like working at the hospital and just, assessing patients and stuff. And, it's just really sad because it's like, it's not their fault. If they say or do something, you just may kind of think like, geez, but, it is not their fault. They have a mental illness and, it's our responsibility, to just be aware, be sensitive and, help treat them as best as we can. And definitely, with dignity and respect, that's one of the biggest things too. Like sometimes, just goes back to that whole stigma, when people have mental health, it's like people don't even treat them with respect,
Mm-hmm. And well, and oftentimes I don't think people necessarily know that they're dealing with someone with a mental illness. Somebody said on TikTok in their city, 80% of the homeless is due to mental illness. And I believe that's the case around the world. And then, when you have a mental illness and you're struggling, I feel like the care that we provide is a Band-Aid at best. It's a Band-Aid. It's not actually getting to the root of the problem. Because a lot of people with mental illness experience homelessness, they often find themselves in crisis centers or homeless shelters and what have you. When you go to a crisis center, they're like, oh, okay, they basically provide you with a little bit of care have you see somebody real quick, maybe prescribe you some medications, but there's no follow-up to make sure that you get a refill on those medications.
Right.
There is no see-through to make sure that you have some sort of housing. And granted, I don't think most people, I think, with mental illness can still function. They can hold jobs, they can pay bills, they can, live a productive, functional life. But I think their management of care needs to be prioritized. And again, I'm not in the medical community, so I don't know what that looks like, but I think as a society, too, again, we have to be the change. So what can we as lay people do, people who are not in the medical community, to have better access, or just be more, just be more helpful to those experiencing mental illness.
Right. Yeah. And then, like we were talking about on social media, like a lot of people, I feel like personally, I feel like, this is my opinion. I feel like it's a lot of people walking around with a lot of undiagnosed mental illness. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people who are unhappy, and a lot of people who are expressing these things, it's because they have some type of mental illness and they just may not know it. It's like, why are you like this? Is there something going on, that you're acting like this? Do you need to talk with somebody?
And I think outside of that too, it's a lot of emotional stuff going on. And I don't know the ties to our emotional illnesses or emotional problems directly correlated to mental illness. I'm sure they are, but I think I don't believe, at least me, I was never taught how to properly deal with anything. I was not taught how to deal with anything. Rejection, bullying, self issues. And so I, again, not wanting to ever indulge in any sort of like extracurricular stuff. And now I have to get back because I know we got to go on break.
Yeah,
we got to get into it too.
This is 910 AM Superstation. You are listening to Nurse Charms Live. I see we have a caller. Please stay with us. We'll get to you on the other side of the break.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I had no energy. For months and months and months, I had no energy, and I'm a very active person. And my husband was noticing that I was tired all the time, and I was slow at everything that I was doing. And I kept listening to the commercials, and, you don't know if something's going to help you or not, but I decided this was something I was going to do. And lo and behold, in about 4 days after taking them, I was repotting plants. I was doing other things. My husband said to me, "You seem to have more energy." And I said, "Oh, yeah, I'm fine." And I'm telling you, nothing has ever made such a difference. So anyway, I'm very happy.
Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code RADIO5.
910 AM Superstation has the greatest advertising deal ever with our Godfather package. 100 spots for $600 with a must-air within 30-day policy. And we will even produce the spots free. That's right, free. Call Mike Z at 248-357-4566 or email at mikez@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads.
WADL gets a facelift and is now My 38 Detroit. Along with a facelift comes new programming. On Mondays at 8 p.m., catch a 2-hour block of Law & Order SVU. Tuesdays, Chicago Fire. Wednesdays, Dateline. More Dateline and Chicago PD on Thursdays and on Fridays. You'll get more Chicago PD to start your weekend. We'll still have some of your favorite shows like Mom, Blackish, and Friends. Just adding more for you to enjoy on My 38.
Everyone knows 910 AM Superstation is the voice of Detroit. Take the voices of 910 AM with you wherever you go with our mobile app. Watch the 910 AM live stream. Never miss a beat with current events on social media. And you can always listen again using our 910 AM replay feature. Download the 910 AM Superstation app today on your mobile device by visiting the App Store on your Android or Apple device.
The Word Network has been broadcasting inspirational messages around the world since the year 2000, and we keep getting bigger and better and more innovative. Seen all around the world, we bring you the best teaching, impartation, singing, and inspiration. If you want original programming, we have that too. The Word Network is your exclusive source for all things inspiration, and we can be found on every device imaginable. If you want to be uplifted and inspired, you need the Word Network. 910, the Superstation, Detroit's only African-American talk radio.
This is 9:10 a.m. Superstation. You are listening to Nurse Charms Live. We have some callers on the line, and anyone else want to call? We have less than a half an hour, but we'll still get to your calls. I promise. You can give us a call at 313-778-7600. Okay, let's see. Let's just get to Eric. Good morning, Eric. Are you there?
Oh, good morning, Nurse Charms, and congratulations on your show.
Thank you.
One of the elephants in the room that you all are not discussing when it comes to mental health is the role that the government, or lack thereof, play in it. This American government will send money all over the world to other countries to facilitate their expressing democracy on those countries and or aiding those countries. But, charity starts at home. And with the homeless population being tied to a lot of the mental health issues, we have to do what's necessary here in our own country to address this crisis. And it's no different than the educational literacy crisis. The government is failing its citizens, and the citizens are too quiet, not holding the government and or those that they elect accountable. And that's the biggest problem with this mental health, homeless, literacy, and any other social ill you have in this country.
You're absolutely right, and I'm so glad because we will talk about the elephant in the room on this show. I do not care, you know what I'm saying? I'm exposing it all, just as long as it's going to be educational. But why did they close the mental health institutions? Like I guess they didn't have enough money, but of everything, why would you choose that? Oh my gosh, that's why we have a mental health crisis in this world. And you're right, it's not really being addressed. It's not being addressed as thorough as it could be. Like you said,
it has nothing to do with the amount of money. You have to realize the state of Michigan right now has one of the greatest and largest surpluses of over $1.9 billion. That money can be used to reopen some of these mental health facilities that were closed down back during I think it was the Engler administration.
Yeah, it was. Engler. So wait a minute. So you're saying that we have the money, but we're not using it appropriately?
Well, we obviously know that the money is there at the federal level because they can raise the debt ceiling whenever they choose to do that. And the amount of money they're giving away to other countries, so you know the money is there to give to your citizens here at home. Yeah. But here in the state, the money is there. They just raised the per pupil allotment for students. Okay, you're raising the per pupil allotment for students, but you have a literacy problem. A lot of those students with the literacy problem are going out into the world, not being able to fend for themselves. So there are many ways to address this problem and deal with it, and the government is solely responsible for failing their citizens and not understanding that charity starts at home.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so terrible. That is just so terrible. So another caller just, was pointing out, well, voting. I mean, is voting gonna solve it?
Voting has nothing to do with it. Voting is all a matter of the sheep following the leader to do whatever the leader tells them to do. I mean, I know we were talking about mental health, but you had 64% of the voters this past November felt that women's rights was the number one determining factor that got them to the polls. Another percentage of that, a large percentage of that, was the amount of individuals that felt that debt relief and the student debt relief, the statement that the grandpa made on that got them to the polls. We have to understand that mental health is an issue that families choose to allow a family member to be the entertainment at family events. No, that person's not entertainment. That person has a problem that the family has to deal with.
Yeah.
So voting, anyone that wants to say voting is part of the problem, and voting and the government are not mutually inclusive. They're mutually exclusive with regards to what the government should be doing as relates to their citizens in their state. That's not happening. So anyone that wants to say you don't vote, that's one of the problems. Because the homeless not voting. So how can people say voting is part of their problem?
Right.
Homeless not the ones voting.
Right.
People are voting based on their interest. And apparently homelessness and or mental health is not an interest of the citizens of this country. Not enough of an interest. You do have some individuals across the country that are doing things to address homelessness. Out in California, you have some people that have put together a row of old mobile homes, used mobile homes. You have some people out in California that are buying old dilapidated hotels
Yeah.
and putting them up for use for homelessness. And some of that is going on here right in the Detroit area, but not enough.
So basically, it's going to have to be community organizations and nonprofits. That's what's going to be the push to help mediate this issue. Is that what you're saying?
Doubt,
Because the government is just totally neglectful. So we just got to get out here and do it ourselves.
Right, they don't care enough. You have to understand, homeless people do not vote.
Right.
Those with mental issues do not vote.
Right.
That is not an issue. That's not an issue for politicians to address. They're not voters anyway. So the community, and a friend of mine out in Charlotte, North Carolina, she's going to start an organization dealing with the homeless problem in Charlotte, North Carolina that has just gotten out of hand. And I'm not sure if you've been on the West Coast recently, L.A., San Diego. The homeless problem in those two cities are deplorable, particularly in L.A.
Oh, I've seen pictures. Yes, you're 100% right on that. I've seen pictures.
But you have and I could call out a congressperson specifically based on I've been in the area of Los Angeles where Maxine Waters is the congresswoman.
Right.
She has a major problem with homelessness in her district, but she lives in a gated community. So come on, people, pay attention to what's going on around you and hold these people that are elected accountable. If you're not holding them accountable, they will continue to do what they do, and that is abuse the citizens that supposedly they are entrusted to serve, and they're not serving the citizens.
We need some journalists to ambush these people when they see them out in the public, because it's like they're shielded, you know what I'm saying, and nobody has access to them, so we can't really ask them the hard questions. Like, somebody needs to stick a mic next to their mouth, and it's like, yo, like, what is going on with this? What are you doing to address this? Why is it all these homeless people out here? Because we're not getting any answers. It's like, after we vote for you, it's a wrap. We don't hear anything else. You know what I'm saying? We don't hear anything else we don't know what you're doing in these meetings, in these rooms and stuff in the White House or whatever, and in Congress, and we don't know what's going on. We know is
media. The media is part of the problem. The media shields. You're talking about shielding. The media oftentimes shield these politicians, because had they not shielded a politician, you wouldn't have the current president in office right now. Right. And it should not have taken 6 years for classified documents, and more were found yesterday or Friday. Yes. It should not have taken 6+ years for that stuff to come out.
Yeah.
In 2020, they shielded the old guy because they did not want the other guy in, but now he is being exposed, and he would definitely be exposed if he run in 2024, because he don't have the room to be shielded. And they will do their job properly the same way they did their job when it came to attacking number 45 after he was in office. You shielded him prior to him getting in office. And so if the media is not doing their job, if the citizens are not doing their job, you will continue to have problems in this country when it comes to societal ills. Literacy is a major crisis, particularly in the black community. But who are those that are elected in the black community that are ignoring the citizens in their own community? Those that look like them.
Right.
Black politicians are ignoring the issue of illiteracy, and there's this notion. I'm in a fraternity. I tell people all the time, fraternities, alphabet organizations, political organizations, they purposely want their people to be dummied down because you can control a non-informed, non-educated base. That's the success of a lot of organizations.
Right.
You don't give them the knowledge to prosper, you control them. They don't want people to be intelligent because it takes away their power of control.
Right. Oh, my goodness. You made some great points, Eric. Thank you so much for sharing that this morning. Amber?
Okay, and continue. Good luck to you, and good luck with the rest of the show today.
Thank you. You have a great Sunday. Talk with you soon.
You too.
All right. Let's see. Let's get to our next caller, Sylvia. Hey, Sylvia.
Oh, wow. I got to shout out Eric. Eric put it down.
Yes,
you dropped the mic, Eric. You was telling it like it's TIE. And I just wanted to add to it the systemic, I would call them the symptoms, the psychological warfare, the chemical warfare,
yes.
The man-made poverty, the trauma, the pandemics, and the drama.
Yes.
Don't forget about the food and the water poisoning.
Oh, in Flint, yeah.
Yeah. They use the music and the prison industry, and don't forget about police brutality. All these are unjust societies that continue to cause the symptoms that mental ill breed.
Yes.
And I just got to keep saying the real rulers that control care nothing about your safety, your education, your mental, or your souls. Politics is just in the middle, taking the lashes for the folks that's behind the scene that's really controlling. Thanks for taking my call. That's all.
Yes, thank you for calling, Sylvia. You have a good day. Let's get to Fidel. Fidel, you there?
Yes, I had to call back as well. Eric was 100%.
I know he dropped that mic.
And listen, I'm going to give y'all another perspective. Let's keep this locally. Let's keep this locally with your city council. That, again, most people say voting is important, but for some odd reasons, lady, they always give our bond money away in hundreds of $millions for European white men that don't vote for them. And then they'll turn around and tell not just me, ladies, you two ladies as well, you want to start a business in Detroit.
Wait a minute, hold on, Fidel. Please stay. Can you please stay on hold with us for a second? We're going to go to break.
Sure.
Okay. You're listening to Nurse Charms Live. This is 910 AM Superstation. We'll be right back.
Did you know most vitamin supplements don't even come from food? Even the products with colorful fruits and vegetables adorning the labels are seldom derived from produce. Typically, supplements are synthetic, made in a laboratory. Modern science may synthetically imitate these chemicals, but your body isn't fooled. It knows the difference, and it craves quality materials to build, repair, and fight illness. You need to consume fruits and vegetables daily in a variety of colors, as well as whole grains and other fresh food. That's why I formulated Balance of Nature. I wanted to be able to give my patients a natural alternative to the cheap, unnatural chemistry by giving them real fruits and vegetables. In fact, the only ingredients inside of Balance of Nature are whole fruits and vegetables. Don't settle for imitation nutrition. Reach for the good stuff, the real stuff.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code RADIO5.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. We create professional materials representing your idea and submit it to companies who are looking for new ideas. We have more than 9,000 companies who have agreed to review ideas in confidence. If a company shows interest in manufacturing your invention, we can negotiate on your behalf. We have helped over 10,000 clients receive patents. We also offer services including 3D modeling and animation demonstrating your idea, prototyping services, and we use state-of-the-art technology to show InventHelp client ideas to additional companies. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp.
Call us for free information at 1-800-460-1663. That's 1-800-460-1663. Again, 1-800-460-1663.
Balance of Nature is fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I had no energy. For months and months and months, I had no energy, and I'm a very active person. And my husband was noticing that I was tired all the time, and I was slow at everything that I was doing. And I kept listening to the commercials, and, you know, you don't know if something's going to help you or not, but I decided this was something I was going to do. And lo and behold, in about 4 days after taking them, I was repotting plants. I was doing other things. My husband said to me, "You seem to have more energy." And I said, "Oh, yeah, I'm fine." And I'm telling you, nothing has ever made such a difference. So anyway, I'm very happy.
Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code RADIO5.
And we are back. This is 910 AM Superstation. You are listening to Nurse Charms Live. I'm in studio with Amber and Fidel. Are you still on hold? Fidel, you there?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, and I'm gonna be real quick.
Okay,
Again,
go ahead.
Keeping in mind that we talking about our local official, our city councils.
Right.
The vote is important. The people that vote for them don't get the breaks, don't get their own money back in bonds, grants, and contracts. So here's the dumbing down what Eric was talking about. This is when you vote for these people. That's a learned, taught behavior. Where do they get this from? Like, the dumbing down, when you go to a city council in any other city, it's held in the evening, 6 o'clock. You know why? People is off work.
Right.
Guess what Detroit, how it is at? 10 o'clock. Here go to dumb it down again. How can you express yourself when they used to give you 3 minutes, it's down to 1 minute?
I thought it was 3 minutes. Yeah.
No, and they brush you on off. They look at you like the deer in the headlights, and people go down there for years, and they just keep sweeping it under the rug. Last but not least, again, Eric hit it 100%. Here's the dumb it down. Who taught these people that? Am I to assume college taught them that? Private school? Who taught them that? They parents? To churches? Where did they get this nonsense? Because when they run, they say they are here for the people.
Right.
Turn around, give Illich and some other European white man $700-800 million, and then 2 weeks later, we don't have no money for transit for our own people, for disability in the city. We don't have no money for our school. We don't have no money for this. You just gave it all away.
Right, exactly.
You just gave it all away. Hey, thank you, ladies. I'm gonna let somebody else. Just think about that though.
Yes.
And they say vote, 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 and you don't get nothing.
We don't get nothing.
You ladies know how the city looked in the 80s and the 90s. It was somewhat beautiful.
Right.
Look how it look now. It look like a bomb been dropped through here. Thank you, ladies.
Yeah, thank you for calling, Fidel. Have a great Sunday. Let's see, Norman. Good morning, Norman. Are you there?
Yes, I'm back. You know, I hear you ladies talking about mental health. You know, really, if the doctor, you need to have us on, our group on, to talk about this issue and stuff. A group of doctors, psychiatrists, a group of anesthesiologists who talk about how when you go to treat these people who have mental disease, who have problems, we get targeted and get thrown in jail. You know how many psychiatrists are thrown into jail? Are in prison today? Almost 400 of them.
Wow.
And let me just tell you something, and black doctors are specifically targeted. Read our blog, You Are Within the Norms.com, and call me, and we will be glad. Dr. Pompey just went through a 7-year trial in Detroit because he was treating people with dignity and respect. When some of these folks talk about mental little hospital, a doctor is trying to being closed down, it is not, they're being deliberately closed down, and those doctors who are there to treat these people are being targeted. Read YourWithinTheNorms.com, and the medications that we are using are being classified as illegal and dangerous and those type of things. And it prevents, and you can see the number of suicides and deaths that have occurred because of the mistreatment. And you know about this stuff.
Right.
You know, you go to treat, all of a sudden, that's opioid. Using the opioid, the DA using the opioid crisis to the opioids that they're bringing into this country, the illicit stuff, and then going after our doctors and our medical providers and those sort of things. And they're the ones. This corruption starts internationally with the Drug Enforcement Agency and the DOJ, and to eliminate our healthcare, but particularly our black healthcare providers. Well, white guys in it too. You should see what they do. They're using our assets and seizing them using forfeiture laws that they tried for actual cartel dealers and mafiosos and stuff. So you want to know why your health care is bad? Bring us on. And you
all right, let's talk. Listen, let's talk about it, Norm. Listen, okay. I want you to give my number. I want you to give the producer. I'm gonna let you go. I want you to give the producer, Jalen. Will you be able to get his? Okay, give him your information. Give him your.
I get tired of folks cutting me off and stuff. Like I call boom, I get cut off. Boom, and I'm a pharmacist and a dentist.
Yes, listen, I would love to talk with you. Go ahead and give. Okay, for sure, done deal. Okay, listen, this is Nurse Charms. I just said done deal. You can come on my show. Give Jalen your information, and I'll talk with you soon. Okay, I promise I'll reach out, and you will be a guest on my show. You're hearing it. Okay, all right. Thank you for calling, Norm. Let's get to Michael. Good morning, Michael. Are you there?
Hey, thank you, Nurse. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes.
Grand rising to you.
Thank you.
I just want to say, you know what? I mean, I listen to your station, and I just listen to all the people who call in and everything, and it's really educational about learning about how people, what's going on out there in the world, and I'm just enjoying it. Here's what I want to ask you. We talk about we have a bevy of problems as Black people, but how could we overcome that people who don't use our don't understand our genders or and use it for their narratives. I'm talking about broadcast networks and probably newspapers too. I'm talking about institutions like they say they have some fancy slogan like Fox News, for instance. So we report, you decide, or whatever. How could we understand what the gender about? I think most people do, but we still we want that cable, so we gonna keep buying the news channels and
Right.
all the entertainment and everything. So I just like your opinion on that, and I just move it along.
Yeah, thank
and
you
it's
so
good to hear
much.
you at 6 in the morning.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate the encouragement, Michael. You have a great Sunday. I hope you call us next week, okay?
I do that.
All right. Okay. Let's see. Let's get to our next caller.
Good morning, Nurse Charms. This is PG.
Oh, hey, PG. It didn't say a name, so that's why I'm sorry. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Happy Sunday. I'm mad because nobody gave me a wake-up call to listen, but thank God I can click on the button in the lower left corner and listen to you at any time.
Yes,
So
on
I'm
the
hoping
Facebook
that
page.
people are clicking and sharing for the show.
Thank you. Yes.
I just want to know, we have an obligation to vote. And we have an obligation when we cast our vote to let these elected officials or potential candidates know what our expectations are. If we are unable to have the correct messaging to say what we want, that's our problem. And if you don't want to vote, just don't vote. People don't need to keep hearing the fact that you don't like the vote. And I'm surprised that people are upset to hear a person keep saying that they don't want to vote, but that this person would have a problem with someone saying how much they love their husband. Who votes?
Yeah.
So I'm a wife that votes, and I vote with my husband, and what's wrong with that? I think people are just on the wrong bandwagon. It's our fault because we don't have the proper messaging, and we need to read up on ethos, pathos, logos, mythos, and carols.
Thank you, PG. I'm sorry, I got to cut you off. That's the end of our show. That's our time. Amber, real quick, give them your information.
Hey, Get Real with AB if you guys want to find me on social. Get Real with AB.
And I'm Nurse Charms. I will be back here next Sunday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Stay tuned for Robert Ficano. It's going to be an excellent show. He's here live in studio, and he will be up next. Nurse Charms Live. Catch you next Sunday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Attention! Do you owe back taxes, fines, and penalties to the IRS? The IRS